Going to do a quick little fishing report on, or update on what's been going on this winter and give you an idea why we've been a little bit slow. But first off, a couple quick announcements. We've been tying, as you can imagine, massive amounts of flies. Things are warming up, things are starting to happen. So if you're up on the Salmon River, you want our flies, Pineville Sport Shop will be opening up soon, or probably open here very quickly. And they have a load of our spring steelhead flies right in there. So if you need to want some of our flies, you're in the area, go right down to Pineville Sports. They have them. The other thing is we still got them. And also, two things. One, our books are open for guide trips for this spring through the summer, our pike and our trout stuff, and obviously this fall we're starting to take bookings. So our books are open. If you want to get a trip with us, give us a call, get in contact with us, and we'll get you in the system. The other thing is our Spey Casting Clinic. We're going to run that again. So it's the last weekend in August, and the dates escape me. I should have them written down here so I know. But anyways, those dates escape me. It's the last weekend of August. We're running on a Saturday, we're running on a Sunday, and each day is a different. You can get into one of the Saturday or Sunday, and it's limited to 10 people. So it'll be a 5-on-1 instructor to students. So that was a great success last year, so we're going to do it again this year. Get in contact. We'll get you on a list. We'll be taking permanent bookings probably in June, but definitely want to get on that list and get contacted when we start to fill those slots. So anyways, as for the fishing, things are starting to happen. Things are starting to warm up. Water flows come up. Some of the shelf ice that Rick will be showing and talking is starting to go, and we're probably into that, what I call that late winter mode on the Salmon River right now. So it's a lot of stonefly nymphs. Mega Princess is a great fly this time of year. The hot stone bead I showed in a fly time video, it's time for that. So it's getting time to start getting on the water. Looks like the old man winter's grip is starting to slip just a tiny bit, and we're getting some decent days to get on the water. So here's what we've been dealing with all winter, and here's Ricky.
Hi everybody, just doing a fishing report. Jay picked me to be the guinea pig for the Salmon River, naturally. I mean, he's back home 2 hours, so he told me I had to go out and do one for the Salmon River. So you gotta deal with me for the next 3 to 4, maybe 5 minutes of me babbling on about the Salmon River. It is cold up here. I mean, we are going, blasting with cold spells. I mean, today it's only 7 degrees, but wind chill, it's probably around about 10 or 12 degrees. So I'm not fishing today. It's cold. I mean, I went out and I'm doing some videoing of different shelf ice in the river as the slush goes down through. And I tell you, just walking across the Pineville parking lot, my fingertips were frozen, my toes were frozen. I mean, it was cold. So that's why I'm kind of sitting in the truck doing this report, because it's just so cold to where the cameras really don't want to work. So, and the tripod just, it's supposed to have a fluent head, but in this cold, it wasn't so fluent. It was saying it was chilled and didn't want to move properly. So I decided to do it in the truck where there's heat, so I'm nice and toasty warm. So other than that, you guys be hearing my teeth chatter as I'm trying to talk. And also the ice will be forming on my mustache, and heck, I look like Jack Frost in about 5 seconds. So anyways, there's shelf ice that is above the water surface from the banks, and the snow banks are protruded away from the bank probably about 1.5 feet. Roughly. In some spots probably more, but from what I've seen, some of the spots I've been to, it's between 1.5 feet, 2 feet. So as you're walking on the bank, don't get close to the edge unless you look first and make sure it's safe to look over. Other than that, you could be standing in midair and just waiting for, as Jay calls the hangman's trap door, to release. And well, let's put it this way: gravity doesn't leave you hanging, so you're gonna go down and get wet, and and will not make your day pleasurable, especially in this weather. So I mean, just use caution and safety as you walk around the banks of the river, because there is, like I said, there's shelf ice, and the banks came out from the ground. So as for fishing wise, I mean, right now we're not fishing too much. One, because of the cold spell. I mean, this is not, when it gets down to, we've had a couple weeks of between 45 below to even 25 below zero at night, and even in the daytime not getting much above zero if we do get zero. So we've had a couple days where we stayed at the negatives of -10, like that. So as to trying to fish in those conditions, it's not fun. I mean, you're gonna have ice guides. Your ice is gonna the ice is gonna build up in your guides. Your reels are gonna freeze. It's just not fun. And two, you also gotta think of the safety of the fish. You get this weather, and you take a fish out of the water. It does not take long for that fish's gills to freeze, or for the film of their eyes to get frozen. So you're causing a lot of harm to the fish. So we've just chosen not to do much, for the safety of the fish, and plus also, like I said, it's cold. So I mean, it's one thing if it's 20, 25 degrees and we'll warm up to like 30, 34 degrees in a day. Okay, you can kind of bear with it for a few hours till it warms up. But when it starts out in the negatives, 9 out of 10, you're not going to see it above freezing. So, one, you're going to have ice blocks for legs. You're not going to be able to walk far. You're not going to be able to do much because of the cold weather. So, on that aspect wise, if you are going to fish in this cold water, I highly suggest you do not remove the fish from the water. Bring a net, keep the fish in the water, take the hook out while it's in the net, make sure it just stays in the water. If you're going to take a picture, just take a picture while it's in the net. I mean, keep it so it's still somewhat underwater. I mean, you can still see the fish, still get you a nice picture, then release it. I mean, that way you don't have a chance of the gills freezing or their eyes freezing or causing any harm to the fish. Let's face it, once you release in the water, it's not going to thaw. I mean, the water temp is right around about 32 to 33 degrees, so it's liquid ice. So the fish is not going to get better. Once you release it, it's, if the gills are frozen, they're going to stay frozen, and you're going to cause harm to that fish. So just highly suggest you keep it underwater. Anyways, on two, let's face it, you reach in that water, grab that fish, and take your hands back out. Talk about a nice block for fingertips. So you really don't want to do that too much. It's gonna hurt, trust me. So on that note there, I mean, I'd just either wait for warm weather, or like I said, just or wait for a later part of the day to go fishing. One, the fish are gonna be more active. So by the time it does warm up a little bit, the fish could acclimate enough to where they're aggressive to eat, so they'll have more fun during that point in time. But we are planning on doing more videos once we get out of this cold freeze. I mean, so as the temperature warms up, you'll start seeing videos, but probably until then, we're gonna sit in front of our heaters and tie flies. We got a huge list for the Pineapple Sports Shop to get done, so we'll have a bunch of our flies in there to come this spring when they open back up. So you'll be able to come in and get our flies this spring, probably in March is when Dad plans on opening back up the shop. He really hasn't decided yet, so as that comes on, we'll post that when that is going to be, when the shop is going to be open, and we'll have our flies there. So you'll have any type of stonefly or woolly bugger or leech or something like that we use ourselves personally will be at the shop. So feel free, once we open up, stop in, grab a cup of coffee, and visit and see how the fishing's going. On that part there also too, I mean, we are booking for our spring, so definitely make sure that you guys contact us to get you guys in the books. And also don't forget that we also do pike trips in the summer. We're just starting to spring steelhead, but get yourself thinking about fishing out of a boat and t-shirts and catching toothy critters. So on that, have a good day, and if you guys are out fishing, stay safe and have fun, and we'll see you guys on the water.
This is Jay at JPEG Guides and Lost River Fishing. We are a year-round fly fishing catch and release guide service. We fish the Lake Ontario tributaries, and then during the spring and the summer we also fish the inland trout streams, classic dry fly fishing. During the heat of the summer, We'll do the warm water fishing for bass and pike. If you're interested in any of our outings or have any questions, please feel free to email us at fish@lostriversfishing.com. Hope to hear from you, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us.